Hey, welcome. This is Brian Johnson. And I was having a little technical difficulties there for a moment, and I got it all straightened out. So, hey, I'm super enthusiastic that you joined me tonight because I have a feeling that you are going to get some major value out of what I'm going to share with you. If you are interested in learning how to create your best day ever, consistently and predictably, you're in the right place. I'm going to share with you exactly what I do to ensure the probability of that happening every time I use it. Hey, Mom. So if this is your first time on my broadcast, just type a yes. If it's not, just type a no. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. What's up, Tyson? What's up, Rocco? Hope you had an awesome weekend. Got to do some amazing stuff with your family. Got to do some connection time. Got to do some learning. Got to do all of it. There's some new features going on here. There's hearts that fly across the screen now. They must have done some Periscope copying. So, hey, Mandy. So tonight, I got about 30 minutes we're going to invest. And I'm going to invest with you some of the most amazing stuff that I know and practice and do. And it dramatically helps me to show up and to predict how I'm going to show up consistently. So without further ado, if you feel called, there's all kinds of weird stuff going on now. I would appreciate it if you shared my message, because I never know who they're going to help. I just get to show up and do them. What's up, John Disk? Hey, Tammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There'll be a few people straggling in. It's completely good, perfect, and fine. We appreciate you. So, hey, to all my replay viewers that are watching this, I appreciate you. The best place to connect with me is at thinkgreatloseweight.com. And then I've got my personal site I just launched, a little bit left on it, but you can go to thebrianjohnson.com. If you are connected with me on thinkgreatloseweight.com, just type a yes. That's where I send out all of my replays to. That's where, if you're on our email list, that's where you get the stuff that we send out to our tribe and to our family members. So if you're not, I encourage you to connect with me there. I'll be more than happy to support you and share some amazing stuff and information with you. What's up, Mary Ellen? Hey, Mary Ellen, did you get finished with our nutrition course yet? Let me know what you thought. So let's get to work. Here's the most important part to your morning. And we're going to talk about morning rituals because, in my opinion, if you don't start your morning ritual off, or if you don't start your morning off, and what's up, Travis Dillard? If you don't start your morning off on your pace and your control, it can be a challenge getting that control and getting that momentum back underneath your belt. Because as you know, life waits for no one. And as old Rocky says, it's not about how hard you get hit. It's not about how hard you can hit, but it's how hard you can get hit and how fast you can get back up, because life is life and it's going to happen. And there are some things that we can do to take necessary precautions to predict how we are going to show up in life. And we have a responsibility versus a reaction to be able to show up and to be able to respond accordingly through skill sets and things that I'm going to share with you tonight that you can use immediately tomorrow morning, tonight, to improve your sense of well-being and how you get to show up. So let's talk about the first one. Number one is getting up early enough for you. So here's what I mean by that. I'm actually in the middle of trying something a little bit different. So let me tell you what I've done for the last year and a half or so. So my shutdown time is at 10 o'clock p.m. at night. My get up time is supposed to be at 5 a.m. I find myself sleeping until 6 or 7 sometimes. And I get to honor that sometimes. The most important part is this. Like, say, for example, if you have to be at work at 8 o'clock, make sure that you give yourself enough time in the morning to invest time in you. There's a book I'm going to mention here several times that I think I'm going to mention it because, A, I know the author. He's a solid dude. He lives here in Austin, Texas. B, it gives you a very systematic approach of how to take, if you only have 5 minutes, how can I take 5 minutes and invest it in my mindset and my body and help me to show up fully? What if I have 30 minutes? What if I have an hour? It's going to take all of those different time-oriented or time-sensitive situations, and it's going to allow you to have a system that you can in place in that, and it makes a massive difference. More than likely, you've probably heard of Hal Elrod's book called The Miracle Morning. I've read it. It's solid content. I back the guy. He's an amazing guy. He's got an awesome character, and I appreciate him. So if you want to check out the book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, totally go and do it. It's a great read. It's a short read, and it's very precise, and it gives you actionable items that you can do to set your morning up straight. So here's what you get to. I appreciate that, Tyson. So here's some important things for you, okay? Making sure you're getting up at enough time for yourself. So allow me to share with you what I do when I am functioning at my peak. This is what I do. I get up in the morning. I have a waking thought. I have a thought that I say to myself as soon as I am somewhat even coherent that I'm awake. I have a thought that I say. My encouragement to you is to find one for you. Here's an example. Something amazing is going to happen to me today, and something amazing is going to happen through me today. Find whatever works for you. And I'm going to go back through there and recap on this. I'm just telling you what I do to set my mind straight. If you wanted to take that, cancel. If you chose to take that even further, create a going to bed thought. Like I only see perfection in everything that I see. I'm already the best at what I desire to be. Like whatever that means. Creating one before you go to bed massively makes a difference on what you're implanting in your subconscious mind. How many times have we watched a crazy show before, something that got you kind of amped up, and when you went to bed, you were having dreams of all kinds of crazy stuff and whatever else? Well, what's going on is you literally are farming and you're putting seeds in your subconscious mind before you go to bed. So now that you're conscious about that and you're aware of what it does to you, imagine if you were to take some conscious affirmations or some things that you're working on before you go to bed, put them in your brain and allow your subconscious to solve those puzzles for you while you're consciously asleep. There's no interruption. You give your subconscious some information that it can chew on while you're in bed, and it's going to do the work for you. What's up, Mark? Did that make sense? So you have a waking thought, you have a going to bed thought, you have as soon as your feet get off the ground this morning and you walk into your kitchen and you get some alkaline water or you get some distilled water or some filtered water and you take some apple cider vinegar, about an ounce, and you dump it in there and you take a squeeze of lemon and you squeeze it in there. That's something you could also do. I encourage doing alkaline water because it helps to boost your body's pH. When your body is slightly alkaline, what it does is it actually helps you to function and feel better. You're going to have better energy. You're going to have better hormone function. You're going to have less acidic acid for your workouts and for your performance-based athletes. Got tongue-tied there for a moment. So sometimes it happens. So the apple cider vinegar will provide that alkalinity, and so will the lemon or lime. My personal opinion, I have a Kangen water machine. You've probably seen me do some videos on it. And look, here's the deal. Like, I invest money in my health. My water machine probably costs about as much as one of my cars. Okay? It's expensive. And it was a huge investment. And if I had to give away all the gadgets that I have, I would keep all of them. I would get rid of all of them except my water machine. Like, I have literally seen people come off a transplant list that could not get a liver or a kidney because their kidneys and livers were so messed up. We literally have seen them come off of transplant lists just by water alone. So my encouragement to you, don't be a former Brian. I was a meathead about 4 or 5 years ago and said, it's water, it's clear. What's it going to do that's different for you, right? Very wrong. I had my complete mental process change in a matter of about 30 minutes, and I was profound. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. And when I had that water, I was like, there's no way in the world I will ever go, Kristen, how is your water machine? Ha ha. They just got a water machine. They heard me talking about it and they got one. Kristen, give me a short word on what you think about your water machine. It's so funny you're on. That's awesome. So what's the ratio of pH water versus plain filtered water? Man, that's a really good question, Tyson. What I would recommend doing is getting some alkaline pH strips, some ones that you can drip on or you can pee on them, whatever you want to do. You can put those in your water. Here's what you can keep as a base. Distilled water is the mark of neutrality, which means it's a 7.0. You can do everything from that position. 7.0 is a good place to go. I do a 9.5, but I wouldn't recommend doing that if you're not used to it, right? All right. So once you say your waking thought, You get up, you walk over in your kitchen, you drink 10 to 12 ounces of water. Now here's the deal with that. That will help with constipation. It will help with moving your bowels, which is vastly important. And so here's the important part is water literally accounts for about 80% of our oxygen and our energy levels, because water transports oxygen and nutrients in our cells and transports toxins out. So you can get those at a health food store, should be able to. They're pretty normal. But water is extremely important. When you start your day off with more water first, you can increase your metabolism 15 to 20%, which is a lot. You love it, love it. Lots of energy and mental clarity. That's so awesome. Hey, your next mission is to get really sore and dump about 15 gallons of that water in your bathtub and put some Epsom salts in there and tell me what you notice. All right. So here's part number 3 for me. So far we have a waking thought and a going to bed thought if you choose to ramp up your Jedi magic. The second one is waking up. As soon as your feet hit the ground, go in there and get 10 to 12 ounces of alkaline water. Okay? Here's a recap. You can do some distilled water or some purified water. Just make sure you're not drinking tap water. There is so much garbage in tap water. It is worth every investment that you can do to get something that is healthy for you to drink, because water next to air, it's the biggest thing you would, yes, that's correct, Tyson. Next to air, water is the second thing you're going to die without, right? It's very important that you get good stuff. Invest the money on it. Notice I didn't say spend the money on it. Invest the money on your health, because you're either going to do it now or you're going to do it later with a hospital bill. Like, here's some serious stuff. Can I be honest with you guys, ladies, a moment for a second? There's people that I'm having conversations with right now that are in the hospital that have had 1 or 2 surgeries. Well, let's just say 1 surgery that has literally cost them over 50 grand. Okay? 1 surgery, 50 grand. Most people don't have that kind of cash sitting around. So my encouragement to you is to trust what I'm sharing with you. Follow my advice and allow me to share some things with you that you can implement today, right now, tonight, experience in the morning, that can dramatically change the quantity and the quality and the trajectory of your health immediately, very fast, and very easy. Like, you could easily not do this, and you could easily do this. Like, everything I'm talking about, a 7 or 8-year-old could do this. So it's simple, right? So here we go. Here's the third thing that I do. Once I start going through and I get my water down, I love listening to Joel Osteen in the morning. I'm not here to preach spirituality to you. That's what I like. That's what I feel good off of. I listen to him 2 or 3 times a day sometimes while I'm driving around. Do what works for you. My encouragement to you is this. We are spiritual beings. We require spiritual connection. When you're searching for things outside of you, whether it's relationships, whether it's new cars, clothes, myself included, when I'm searching outside of me, that's because I have a void and a disconnect with God, universe, whatever you prefer to use. That's ultimately what we're looking to fill, is that void. That's God. That's your spiritual connection. I personally have started meditating more just recently, and they have a massive rock store in Austin, so I went and picked up some different crystals, and I have some amethyst crystals. These things, they had a massive one there for $105,000. These are amazing. These are amplifiers. These amplify your frequencies of where your body's functioning at, where your energetic levels and where your levels of consciousness are functioning. So stones are God's way of magnifying amplification and energy, just like pyramids, right? So a lot of stuff out there. So my thing is Joel Osteen. I also used to have a program on my phone called, it's actually a website you can go to called Look Up with the number 2 him.com. So look up with the number 2 him.com. That is a site where you can plug your information in, and they will literally send you a scriptural verse every couple hours or something like that. I love it. I love it because what it does, it allows me to connect with when I focus on my spiritual connection, everything else is so much more aligned. When I'm off of that, everything else is off. So for me, that's a huge tool that I use that helps me to reconnect with God if I'm out of alignment or if I'm not connected, right? All right. So now, here's the thing that we have next. This is number 4. Exercise. I will share with you that I have a lot of gadgets at my house. I have an elliptical here. We have a treadmill here. I have a boxing machine. I have a heavy bag. I have a speed bag. I have another speed bag. Like, I have a lot of gadgets. And I have a lot of gadgets because I exercise a lot out of my house. What's up, Francesca? My encouragement to you is this. If you don't have an elliptical or a treadmill or some type of exercise thing that you can keep at your house for convenience purposes, it is well worth the $300 or $400 or $200 investment that you may make at some point to get one. I can tell you, when I get up in the morning, like, here's a perfect day for me. If I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, rested and healthy, and I hop over to my machine, drink my water, throw some Joel on for a couple minutes, and then what I'll do is I get on my elliptical and I start doing cardio. Man, I'll tell you, for the first 2 minutes, I'm dead ass asleep. Minute number 3, oxygen levels kick in. Brain wakes up, and all of a sudden I'm like totally in the zone. When I'm doing my cardio, my body is in a contralateral running position. When this is going on, I am hardwired to store and sponge up more information. So I will study during that time. I'll read books. I'll review my notes and information that I get to drill down, like different body language tactics and things like that. I'll review all that. What works even better than that is I have a whole list of affirmations that I have been connecting for 4 or 5 years. If you would like my affirmations, send me an email, or here's the deal. Go to our website, thinkgreatloseweight.com. Make sure you register on our email list. Send me an email that says, send me your affirmations, please, and I'll send them to you. I have a collection of about 4 years, and these are prized conversations that I get to have daily. Like, a lot of times it will take me an hour or an hour and a half to go through all of them. Sometimes here's what I'll do. I'll put some good trance music on. Like, I love trance music. When I'm working or when I'm typing and doing stuff here, I like house and trance music because I don't like words. I just like beats. Beats raise my energetic vibration to where I feel good. I feel enthusiasm rolling through my body because my hair is standing on end. When that happens, I will start to download information, download mindset tactics, download affirmations, say specific affirmations, because when you're in that heightened state, your electrical system is like a sponge. So you can sponge up some amazing habits and mindset tools and tactics while you're in that beat or that higher vibration resonancy. And you can massively make a difference on how and what type of belief systems you dial down and what belief systems you boot out. Here's the most important part. Like, you may have seen this before, and I'm going to show you. Like, I have a huge affirmation all over my arm. I'll tell you exactly what it means. And they're all personal things for me. You do what works for you. But on my arm here, so here's some of it. So I have God, family, health, and business right here. I have more than a conqueror right here. I have a big yellow star. That star stands for I'm the best at what I do. I have stars all over my house. I have them on my computer. I have them on my desk. I have them on the volume button in my car. I have them in my bathroom. And here's the most important part. That star for me stands for I am the best at what I do. So I programmed myself with that. And to be perfectly honest, I am the only person who does what I do because I am the only me. So I can believe that wholeheartedly, which means that you can also use it for the same thing. I'm basically brainwashing myself so that every time I see it, what's up, Augustinelli? Every time I see that star in my house or on the volume button in my car or on the light, it has been amazing how that has transformed my life. Because there have been times when I've been having conversations with someone and I would start doubting myself. My finger literally would reach up and look like E.T.'s phone home, and it would reach over and touch the star in the middle of me doubting that. And I would flip like, oh, you're right. Thank you so much. Like, boom, subconscious programming. So what I've done is I've literally conditioned myself to feel that way about that so that my confidence level's through the roof and I don't doubt myself. Once you are in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing and who you are going to be in the exact same position. This is available for you too. I'm just sharing with you the tools and the tactics that I use to bring it out consistently, which is really ideal. Peak performance is only amazing if you can consistently and predictably create that type of outcome. And the system that I'm sharing with you today will dramatically improve the probability of you making that happen. Okay? So affirmations, here's the important part. If you say an affirmation that you don't believe, that's not going to work. If you don't believe it, here's what you'll notice. You'll notice that your stomach's tight. You'll notice when you say it that you don't feel any you're like, not so much kind of a deal. It's important for you to pick ones that you can believe. And if you have one you don't believe, just regress it a little bit. And these are a big deal because when you can completely change your belief system and what's functioning, it'll make a massive difference on how you're showing up. Because you're going to find, here's the thing to really consider. The really deep-rooted belief systems that we have are so deep-rooted that you really barely hear them. You may be driving down the road and thinking about a new opportunity, and then all of a sudden this little voice comes up. It's so quiet. It says, you can't do that. And you sometimes have heard it for so long you don't even catch it. What I'm inviting you to consider is this. Once you find some affirmations that resonate with you on a spiritual, energetic, whole human form life, self, whatever resonates with you fully, you can use those to rewire those belief systems that are sabotaging you at a subconscious level. So here are some ways that those may show up. If you have some resentment, if you have some non-forgiveness, if you have some past experiences and relationships that still have a charge on them, you're still going to have these things functioning in you internally. Maybe you think you've made it through them consciously, and you have. That does not mean that your subconscious has a clean slate and is not operating on those experiences. You can find that out by analyzing your outcomes, like looking at the people, the places, circumstances, situations, and events in your life. And if they match the feelings that you feel internally, like anger or frustration or happiness or joy or enthusiasm, that will be a direct indicator. What your external environment has given you is a direct indicator of what's functioning emotionally underneath our awareness. Hopefully I articulated that well enough for you. Hey Jane, thank you for that. Agustinelli. So, all right. Body language, confirm, miracle morning, we talked about that. Exercise. Okay, here's another one. Here's the last one, and then we'll almost be done. So I think it's really important that you do some type of exercise in the morning, because I can tell you this much. I've been working out since I was 7 years old. So this is a way of life for me. And there have been times when I've fallen off the wagon, when I was suicidal, when I was 250 pounds, 3 different times. There was a lot of times when I didn't want to work out. And there was a lot of times I made myself work out because I just knew I would feel 1,000,000 times better when I did. Between God and working out, those are the two things that saved my life, because it was working out that I could always turn to. They would never let me down. I know exactly what I would get out of it, and I could push myself as hard as I wanted to without being negative towards anyone else. So I really had an affinity for it. My invitation to you is this. Give yourself permission to find something that you love doing. Make a decision. Create a habit. And implement some type of working out or exercise in your life. Nowadays, most people think that when you go to the gym, that's working out. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to leave your house. You can do something in your kitchen floor or your bathroom. I have a program that we created called Fitness Travel Secrets, which goes through body weight exercise. And literally, look, I learned these exercises when I was at Baylor Sports Medicine doing rehabilitation work with people with prosthetic limbs and knees. These exercises look so simple. I was demonstrating them for the video camera. I did 4 minutes of work. 4 minutes of work. That's it, out of the whole thing. And you should have seen the sweat that was profusely coming off of my body and when I was shooting those. It was nuts. I say that to say this. There is a massive difference between lifting weights and working muscles. I don't lift heavy weights anymore. I lift easy body weight stuff. Sometimes I don't even lift weights. I do jiu-jitsu or kickboxing. My invitation to you is this. Find something that you love doing. It will dramatically make an impact in your life. And if you can position yourself to do it in the morning 3 or 4 days a week, you're going to feel so much better. Like you're going to feel empowered. Your body's going to feel turned on. It's going to feel energetic. Your metabolism is going to speed up. Your muscles are going to tighten. Your clothes are going to fit better. You're going to be more confident. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have less stress. I don't know if I could possibly stop with the amount of benefits that are available to you. If you're not doing it, I am urging you for your own health and benefit to do something. It doesn't have to be an hour long. Start off with 5 minutes if you're not doing anything. Start off with a wall sit. You could easily go to YouTube and get all kinds of free workouts. If you wanted to invest $99, you can get the one that I've created. It is Fitness Travel Secrets, which takes you from part A of going on a trip, what to think about, how to pack, what I'm going to need to be eating, how long I'm going to need to be eating, all this stuff. All that stuff's available for you in that if you chose to take advantage of that. That's really about all I have tonight. Let's just do a slight recap for all of you so that you have this down. And my invitation to you is this. Try this out tonight. Try it out tomorrow morning. Give me some feedback on what you notice. And I will join you as well. I was off all last week from being injured, and it was because of emotions. Interesting. It always is. What I found anytime you're injured is because of emotions. Emotionally, we will create an experience that validates our injury or pain on our body that has a direct emotional correlation. That's body language. It's amazing, right? So let's go back through everything real quick and then we'll be done. So getting up early enough for you. If that means if you got to be at work at 8, maybe you get up at 5 or 5:30 and you invest an hour and a half doing your spiritual connection time, doing your cardio, doing your affirmations. Maybe you only invest 30 minutes. Like if you're not doing anything, honestly, let's just start with 5 minutes. Can you agree to 5 minutes? 5 minutes is totally easy. 5 minutes is one of those things where if you don't do it, you're not going to die. And if you do it, you're not going to feel amazing. You're going to feel more amazing than you would if you didn't. And it's only going to take 5 minutes because when that 5 minutes goes off, you're going to feel so good, you're going to do 10. And you may go 15. Just start with 5. Start somewhere. It's all about creating, like right now, think about this. The quality of mine in your life right now is directly related to the quality of the habits that we have in our life. So if you're not where you would like to be financially, if you're not where you would like to be in your physical health, if you would not like to be in your spiritual health, and you would not like to be where you're at in your mental health or your relationships, that's directly indicative of the habits that we have. Well, the beautiful part about that is that we can change those at any point in time, right now. When is now a good time to make a change for you and your health and your well-being? Now is a great time. So point number 1, getting up early enough for you. Number 2, waking thought. Find a waking thought that helps empower you. Something bigger than yourself. It should scare the shit out of you. That's how big your goal is, which means that you cannot do it by yourself. The only way for you to do it is by God helping you. If your goal is not that big, that's what it needs to be in order for it to happen. It needs to be way out of your known box in reality. Okay? That's 2. Number 3, drink 10 to 12 ounces of alkaline water. If you need to do the apple cider vinegar and some distilled water or the lemon and lime squeeze in there too, all of those are viable options. 10 to 12 ounces as soon as you get up. Number 3, or actually this is 4. I like listening to Joel Osteen in the morning. It helps to get my head straight. He's always got a good, clean message, and I like that. Some people bash him, and I don't care. I support him, and I like him, and I know what it does for me. You're more than welcome to use it. The podcasts are absolutely free. It's a great way to get your head straight in the morning, and it's one of my favorite things to do. So if you like it, you're more than welcome to use it. The next one is number 5, exercise. Doing some type of cardio in the mornings. For if you can do it for only 5 minutes, do it for 5 minutes. Maybe it's walking around your block for 5 minutes. Maybe it's jumping rope for 5 minutes. Maybe it's doing the jumping jacks. Whatever it is, find something that you can do and commit to doing for 5 minutes. Work your way up to 30 or 40. You will feel amazing. I assure you, you can. I promise you, you will feel amazing if you implement this. Okay? And the last one is affirmations and declarations. If you would like my affirmations, go to our website, thinkgreatloseweight.com, hop on our email list, and send me an email at support@thinkgreatloseweight. You'll see it on there. And just write, hey, I'd like your affirmations, and I'll put them out to you, and you all can have them. They're amazing. Like, here's something interesting for you, too. Each time I go to a class, like this past weekend, I was in a body language class with my coach. Dude, I had some major ahas, like major ahas, like stuff that would freaking blow your drawers off. And what I was going to tell you was affirmations. Choose to remember. Every time I come out of class and I have some new upgrades and some new language upgrades, I go back and I change all my affirmations. And it's amazing when you think you know it, and then all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 more advancements, and you're like, man, my languaging was so far off. Now it's crisp, like being able to recognize how you're speaking, what you're saying, how you're positioning sentences and things of that nature. Your outcomes in your life will be directly indicative of how you're speaking and what you're speaking out of your mouth. It's the same principle as a big ship and a small rudder. This is the small rudder. This is the big ship. Okay? All right. And the last one is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Great book. I highly endorse it. He has a huge community of people that are Miracle Morning guys and gals. So if you want to check that out, it will totally give you some good insight on how you can start creating these miracles in your life. So does anyone have any questions before we part? I would like to make sure that I answer your questions. And I'm on my computer right now too, so I'll check. Jeff Moore, hey buddy, I didn't even see you pop on there. Here we got some, we have some more things here. Jane, thanks. So encouraging and empowering. I believe in you. I won't forget the waking thoughts. Perfect. That's awesome, Jane. Let's see here. Now I got everyone's, what's up, Deborah Seymour? I love Joel. So action steps. This is Audrey Nicole. Get up early and get connected to something spiritual. 2, something. 2 was alkaline water. Or 2 was waking thought. Waking thought, Ashley, or Audrey. Drink water, listen to Joel, exercise in the mornings, affirmations, miracle morning. Whoop, miss number 2, got it. You got it. Again, the app that sends you scriptures every few hours. Here, I'll write it down there for you. So let's go www.lookuptohim.com. All right, I just posted that for you. Look up to him on there. Does anyone have any questions while I'm reading through these? Waking thoughts. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I just sent it to you, Terry. If anyone has any questions, just shoot them out here while I'm on my computer and I'll answer them for you real quick. There you go, Kendra. Thank you. And I think that's about it. Doesn't look like there's any more questions so far. So if not, let's see what Deborah says. May not pertain to tonight's Facebook. Struggling with liver issues. Resentment, Deborah. You require some milk thistle and you require some forgiveness, or whoever it is that has liver issues. So anyone who has liver issues, it's all about resentment. Giving yourself permission to forgive. Here's something for you. This is my last closing statement. Give yourself permission to set your heart on forgiveness. So important. So important. Whatever we don't forgive someone for, no matter how tragic, no matter how difficult, no matter what it is, give yourself permission to set yourself and set your heart on forgiveness. If you don't, it's going to eat you up. It's like having some poison and drinking it yourself and expecting the other person that you're irritated at to get sick. It doesn't work that way. So for your own health, give yourself permission to forgive whomever it is you need to, and give yourself permission to move forward. I promise you it will be one of the best decisions that you ever make in your life. Just consistently give yourself permission. That was 2 stutters. Apathy. I choose to make this fun and easy while I'm scratching my heel. Body language. I'm having a conversation with myself while I'm having a conversation with you, and I'm scratching my knee going, yes, that's right. That's some amazing stuff. I sit here, you probably think I'm halfway crazy, and that's okay, I do too. I sit here and have conversations with myself all day long because my body's constantly telling me stuff. It's amazing. Had some major ahas this weekend that I'll share with you when we have a body language call. Like, allow me to share this with you. And this is the last one. And I'm getting a drink. I have never in my life ever experiencing anything more potent and powerful and just absolutely fascinating to think that God has hardwired our bodies and is literally pulling strings and making our bodies do things all the time that go unnoticed. Do you realize that only 20% of our communication is done through specific words? The other 80% is done through tonality and through volume and through itches and scratches. Itches and scratches account for about 60%. Did you know that AT&T back in the 70s was already studying body language? Back in the 70s. Homeland Security was studying it in the early 90s, and they proved that a lot of our communication is done non-verbally. You literally can find out belief systems that are operating in people by how their foot position is, how their shoulder positions are, their hand positions. You literally can create amazing connection with people, including yourself. Most importantly, that's where I suggest you to learn it first, is in yourself. Now, that was just a throw in there because of what I experienced this weekend and how many more ahas I had just by studying with my coach. And on that note, I'll go ahead and extend it out. If any of you are really serious about learning body language, here's what I'll do for you. If you choose to take me up on this offer, this will only be good for the next 5 people. Our body language program is typically $1,000 a training, and you will by far super exceed your value. If anyone on here has actually taken it, give a little 2-second synopsis of what your experience was, and I appreciate you. If you use the code BODY and you go to our website, thinkgreatloseweight.com, go to Education Center, go to Body Language Series, type in the code BODY and hit apply, it'll give you like 60% off. It's only going to be for the next 5 people. So if you're committed to mastering your relationship with yourself first, and then using the wisdom to start connecting further in your relationships, in my professional opinion, it will be the biggest quantum level advancement you ever give yourself. I assure you. I actively seek out this kind of wisdom and information. And out of the 100,000 hours I have invested in this, trust me when I say I have never, ever, 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 ever seen anything more miraculous and freaking mind-boggling than body language when someone's literally unfolding their victory right in front of you, walking themselves through. I'm seeing differently. Oh, I'm hearing. I can move forward. Like all this stuff is going on, and most people have no idea until now. So my gift to you is that at some point when you're ready, unless you're ready today, that's the best way you can go about learning and really mastering yourself and integrating these habits that we talked about today. So that's all I have. I appreciate you so much. Let me check and make sure I have all everyone's questions answered real quick. Tony Smith, the bonus, the body language bonus. There you go, Tony Smith. Rachel's taking body language. Audrey's taking body language. So awesome, y'all. So, hey, I really appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for your time. As always, I value you sharing your time with me, and I do not take it lightly. And, you know, honestly, like this is one of my most favorite parts of my day. Like I actually get energized when I get to come here and hang out with all of you. And I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking your time and always sharing my message so I can support more people. I appreciate you allowing me to be me, and you can always be you. So have an amazing night. I love you. And remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Bye-bye. Have an awesome night.